Hey Fit friends, back again, and today we're going to be covering how to reduce hip flexor pain, or if you have a twinge in your hip flexor. How many of you have been in those situations where you are squatting or otherwise, and right up here in the hip flexor you get a little twinge, a pull, and then it becomes really difficult to do things like lift your leg up or squat down? Well, this is a little trick that I learned on myself, dealing with the problem myself, that can make a huge difference in helping to loosen up that area so you can get back to doing what you love to do, which is squat, lift heavy, train hard. So today we're gonna be on the floor. We got a foam roller here, and it doesn't matter what size foam roller really, it's really gonna be important as to the angle in which we have the foam roller itself. Now, I'm gonna want to set the foam roller at an angle so that it's actually sitting right at my hip flexor. And then what I'm gonna wanna do is I'm gonna wanna roll down my quad, and I'm gonna be hitting this vastus medialis right here. This is my focal point. So if I were to flex my quad, right, and I got these two big muscles right here is where I wanna be hitting. So I wanna be able to set myself up so that I'm actually hitting that area. So what I like to do is I like to take my foam roller, and again, it doesn't have to be a long one like this, it could be a shorter one, and I set it at an angle. I have it pointed away from my hip flexor itself, but I'm also gonna be rolling right towards my foot. So as I go to set up, what I'm gonna wanna do is, again, take my hip crease and get that right in onto the foam roller itself. Now, of course, always be careful, family jewels, don't want to damage that. But from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to army crawl myself away, little by little. So I'm gonna come towards the camera, and what you'll notice is with how my foot is set up, it's set up so that my toes pointed out and away, and I'm set up so that I'm actually slowly grinding down towards the vastus medialis. And when I get there, right before the kneecap itself, when I get into that area, it's not comfortable. It's fairly painful, but this is actually where you're gonna wanna spend the most time in order to help loosen up the hip flexor. Now that seems weird, right? I feel it in my hip flexor, why am I working way down there towards my knee? Well, this is a compensation point. So this is where we actually wanna hit there in order to release here. So we're gonna focus here in order to release here. Make sense? So what I like to do is I like to spend 30 seconds at a time, and I'll usually roll each leg twice, spending about 30 seconds going down nice and slow, grinding it out. And again, when I get to that point of the quad, I make sure to spend more time there and just breathe as much as I can and stay as relaxed as possible. And what this ends up doing is this ends up relaxing out here down by my knee, but it also helps to alleviate the issue here, and I can go back to squatting. This can make a huge difference for you. Now, I know you've noticed, we've got this nice new XWOD shirt on. We do have multiple colors. You can check them on out at the XWODstore.com. Other than that, I will see you next time. Peace!